Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm super excited to have you guys here. We are going to dive right into your reading. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I am very happy to have you here. These are general readings, so just take what resonates and leave the rest. Guys, there's been some technical difficulties that I've been having, and I've requested help, and I haven't really received it. So I'm missing one of the screens that's really important in my YouTube studio, which is like important. I'm so not tech savvy. So I've had a really hard time. So I'm sorry about that. I have been recording videos for you. I just haven't been able to upload them. So, but I mean, finally the one went up yesterday. From yesterday. That was yesterday's reading, but there's one from the day before that still hasn't. So hopefully I won't have any trouble getting this up, but if I do, just know that it's because there's an issue or it's been difficult. Okay, Pisces, wow. I feel like yesterday maybe you got honesty and transparency as cards. You're getting this honesty and communication, romance and connection, guardian angel, and then on the bottom of the deck, you're getting cut the cords. It definitely feels, you know, whenever I see this like romance and connection, I mean, if I do this, right, this kind of looks like the Lover's card. And it, you know, it's an energy of, I feel like where, you know, something is either protected or something's being guided together, or this is something that you've manifested, prayed for, you know, energetically asked for. You see this with her praying hands and the energetic white light coming out, and it's like your prayer is being answered here with the guardian angel, or something is happening, something's coming in. I feel like it's some kind of conversation. With the cut the cords on the bottom of the deck, it feels like, you know, you really do have to let things go in order to you know, kind of find out if they're even meant to be at sometimes. And you know, usually what I would say is like, sometimes you have to let them go in order for them to come back to you. But that's how it feels. It feels instead like the more correct sort of thing to say is that you have to let it go in order to see if it's meant to be, like in this life. Yeah, someone's reaching out. Something's happening here because, oh, wow. Knight of Swords. Oh, okay. Oh, my gosh, Pisces. So I clarified this cut the cords. So we have a 10 of Swords, 8 of Wands, the Star card, and the Knight of Swords. So this feels like an energy relating to this where there's been some kind of difficult ending here. You know, with the Star card and the 8 of Wands, this is actually giving me that sensation of prayer again, you know, communicating with the divine. And really having faith and hope and optimism that if something is meant to be, it will come to you. And it feels as though this is a strategy that is working for you. It's coming. You know, when it says cut the cords, when we cut the cords from somebody, you know, if there is something that is still good, if there is something that can still transform into something else, or can, you know, kind of become at a later date, we're not going to cut that. We're not going to cut good things. We're cutting the toxicity. We're cutting the bad stuff. And with this, it sort of feels like a surrender. Like, okay, you know what? Maybe I've thought this thing to death. Maybe my thoughts are draining me. My thoughts are exhausting me about this situation. What I'm going to have to do is really just cut the cords, let go, and see if it comes back to me. See if it's meant to be. See if it is fated. See if it is destined that in this life we will be together. And with the Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck, it feels like someone is coming in to like really speak their truth, kind of in a hurry here. So, and we have this honesty and communication energy. So I really do feel that you have communication coming in. And, you know, for some of you, again, this can be a past person, but this can also be a new person or someone that you're just sort of starting out with. Or like if you have a friend and you're like, does my friend like me like that? Are they feeling that too? You know, I feel like there's going to be some kind of conversation around that. I feel like the connection's being watched over, guided, your prayers being answered. You know, either the person that you want to come in or that you have been sort of waiting for or wanting is going to show up, or if they cannot show up for you, if they're not able to rise up to meet that occasion, I feel like there will be someone else. That's very much how this feels. All right. Very difficult to get. Wow, the warrior. Wow, okay. High priestess of water and the fledgling. Wow. Okay. This is giving me a lot of I don't even know how to describe this, but you know when you invest in someone or something where it's like you're not really sure it's like a mama bird. You're not sure if the baby's gonna fly when you push it out of the nest, but you also know the only way it is gonna fly is if you push it out of the nest. That's what the fledgling feels like. The only way I'm gonna know if this is going to work is if I let it go, or if I push it away, or if I don't even necessarily feel like push it away, but like if I cut the cords, if I stop holding on to it, does it stay or does it go? And there's this energy, if you even look at her face, there's almost this energy of like, I really don't know what to expect. And it's almost, I feel like this combination of heartbreak and passion and desire. So it's kind of, you know, for some of you, this may be a new relationship that you're trying to get off the ground, and it's like you're not really sure. You're sort of like in this impression of like, I'll give it my best and I'll turn it over to the divine, and I guess if it's meant to be, it's going to work out. For others of you, this is like with a person, it's like maybe you did everything that you could for them, and the only way they were going to know or you were going to know if this could become more, or if it was going to become more, or if it even should become more, is if you pushed them out of the nest, you know? If you said, you know, I don't have time for this halfway stuff. I don't have time to, you know, have you come to me to emotionally process for you, and then you go back out into the world and do God knows what and come back to me broken again, you know, wanting me to help fix you back up. So there's just this energy of, you know, with the high priestess, it's like, I just kind of know that this is what I have to do, even if it's hard, even if I'm not sure. I just have to trust the process. I just have to give it over to the divine, say my prayers, pass it on, and let the answer be revealed to me. With the warrior on the bottom of the deck, I feel like this is someone who doesn't give up, but there is also this element of protection, or this is also an element of someone showing up that is willing to fight for the connection. So there's a lot of positive energy here. And it like with this warrior, you have two, it's the number 2. Sometimes, you know, like, a part of me is really getting new energy. A part of me is getting maybe a second chance here. Like there's 2 possibilities. And it's kind of like you had to turn some relationship over to the divine of like, okay, if it has to be that it's not going to be this person, or that this person can't show up, then please send me something. Did I not just say second chance? That card literally just fell out. It just freaks me out when that happens, when the words literally come out of my mouth and then boom, they're there. Like it actually happens, you know, more often than I sometimes realize. Wow. Oh man. Okay, I see the issue here. So Pisces, you have second chance, boundaries, and escaping. Again, I feel like this is touching a bit on the reading from yesterday where we're talking about somebody who, you know, if you have a healthy boundary and someone is like, I can't, like your boundary kind of freaks me out, or like, you know, I like, you know what it is? It's giving me that energy of that card that's like, I left you before you could leave me. Kind of energy. It's like, if you're like, I'm busy, or, you know, I have to prioritize this other thing really fast. It's like this person, their insecurities just kind of get carried away with them. It feels like a little bit, and they can really like overthink themselves into a space where they feel like they have no choice but to walk away. It's not because they want to walk away. It's because if they don't walk away first, then you're going to walk away from them, and they can't handle that. So this is sort of like what they've learned to do. So this is what they do in order to like survive. But when you walk away from something that you actually don't want to walk away from, it does sort of cause this conflict within you. And that conflict can either be justified by, you know, making up stories or telling ourselves something that can calm us down, or the truth. And, you know, when we choose the truth, we choose love. And when we choose to say, okay, you know what, that's actually me. Like, the reason I feel this way is because my childhood was like this, or because this is how I learned to survive this experience or that one, you know, but maybe there's a better way. You know what I mean? And that's how we heal, and that's how we grow. And so boundaries are always a good thing. Even if the reaction you get to your boundary isn't something that you want, you know what I mean? Even if it's the opposite of what you want, boundaries are still a good thing, because what it does is it provides space for people to either rise up to meet the occasion or not. And either way, it's valuable information. So taking a second chance on this person does feel a little bit like a roll of the dice. It feels like, you know, I don't know what to expect. I don't know who's showing up. I don't know how you're showing up. You know, I like, basically with the feminine energy, which doesn't necessarily have to be the female, right? But we do have this divine feminine energy with the person who's sort of waiting to see what happens here, who's fledged the little baby bird out of the nest. There's this hoping they fly, right? But there's also this, like, I have to keep my energy a little bit to myself, a little bit hidden, a little bit, you know, high priestess. You know, I can't tell this person what I'm doing. I can't, there's like a veil between us. Like, I can't necessarily see them. They can't necessarily see me. And that's important. It feels like, for a reason. And because what I see this person's actual problem is, you know, when two soulmates meet, a soulmate is going to ask a lot of you. There's going to be a lot required, right? Because soulmates are people that teach us lessons. So when we meet a soulmate, sometimes, you know, some people, their experience will be, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can't believe it. I'm walking on clouds, da 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 da. And other people will have the reaction of being intimidated by it, scared of it, feeling like it's too much, it's asking too much of them. They're going to have to go too deep. They're going to have to go into parts of themselves that they don't actually want to go, you know, into those shadowy depths, you know, and it may feel overwhelming, or like it's too much, or like if they choose that, they're going to drown. And, you know, this is someone who typically probably escapes, you know, anytime the feelings get strong, anytime something starts to feel overwhelming, they may turn to alcohol, or they may literally turn to like running. For some people, they may even have a job where, you know, it would be impossible for them to be home every day at 5 o'clock, or, you know what I mean, where for them to be accountable. I see that a lot, where it's like, okay, and that person has a job where either it's required of them basically to stay late, or it requires travel, you know, or it requires, you know, like, even like I'm getting like pilots, like captains of ships or something. There's some kind of travel involved in the work. that it's like, I think this person chose it on purpose so that they could always sort of at least have escapes. You know, I think that really the truth about this person is they are withdrawn. They are, you know, they do feel lonely, even if, you know, maybe some of them are in a relationship, maybe not, but there's this energy of just sort of feeling like they're out on an island by themselves and like no one really understands them, or even if someone does understand them, and if that person is you, what is asked is too much. It's more than they can give to a relationship. So it just sort of continuously leaves them in this place. Like, it feels very regretful. It feels very heavy, where it's like they're looking back and going, man, I missed that opportunity. Man, I messed that up. Man, you know what I mean? It's that kind of energy. All right, so let's dive into the tarot, dear Pisces, and see what do we have here for Pisces. For Pisces. Two of Wands. We're at a choice point. It feels like a really important choice point. Okay, we have Temperance. All right. It's like this obstacle is this person's fear. It is this person's, it's illusionary. It's not real. I'm just going to take one on this double real quick. So you have the Devil, you have like the Five of Swords energy, you have, well actually that's Justice energy, and you have the Two of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Wow. Oh, man. Some of you may have someone who's actually low-key obsessed with you. Like they're trying to know everything about you, or, you know, you may not have any idea about this, but this person, like, I sort of get this vibe of someone who like goes to work and then like comes home and the first thing they do is like check your social media. They may even check it at lunch. And the, you know, obsession isn't really a stable or a sustainable energy. It's very volatile. And it typically isn't something that we can sustain over the duration of a long period of time. And when we see the Wheel of Fortune with this energy, it's kind of like this has to change. Like we can't stay here like spying or an arm's length distance away, trying to keep some kind of foot in the door in this relationship without actually showing up for it. Like that isn't sustainable. And so, and especially because that you are a temptation to this person. Like they do want you, like they do think about this, they do daydream about this, but they are stuck to their fear and to their illusion, and because of it, but because they also probably have feelings for you that they can't acknowledge or admit because they're tied down to this lower vibrational energy. They can't show up. You know, the Page of Swords, it's like, it has a lot of meanings, but you know, the spy, the energy of the spy, how frustrating is the energy of the spy? If you didn't care, you wouldn't spy. If you care, why aren't you just showing up? If I turn around and I say, I see you spying, you're not going to come forward and be like, yeah, because I like you. You're going to run for the freaking hills. And you're probably not going to show up for a while. You're going to try to talk yourself into not doing it anymore, not being it anymore, not da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, you'll probably come back around, you know? And with the Wheel of Fortune, it's just telling me like this person's been in this energy and it's not serving them and it's not sustainable. And therefore, just like all things in life, it has to change. It can't stay the same. I'm going to clarify this Justice now too, even though I'm going to clarify all of these with another deck. I don't know. These are major arcana, and it's just really giving me this vibe. Wow. So the obstacle, what is standing between this person and their happiness and their wish fulfillment, is this fear, this obstacle. And with the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, my Knight of Pentacles energy is, this is where it's hard. It's really freaking hard, but we just put one foot in front of the other. It's about the stair in front of you, not the entire staircase. Yes, it's hard, but just put one foot in front of the other. If you're moving in the right direction, you will get there. You will get there. And you know, if that's the best you can do, that's the best you can do, and that's good enough. So it comes with this decision, Two of Wands, justice. And it feels like a major decision for this person to choose happiness for themselves, to choose to be emotionally content. And this may be where they need to get to a place where they are emotionally content on their own so that they can have their wish fulfillment. So let's dive in with the Smith-Waite deck. All right. What is this temptation? What is the devil? Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, see, look at this. You're getting the Page of Swords again. This is the major energy. This is the problem. You got the Ace of Cups with the Ace of Pentacles here. This person wants a new beginning. Wow, yeah, look at that. Okay, so in the past, it wasn't balanced, or this person has some kind of fear that they aren't able to bring to the table what you need or what you want, or they just could never match your energy. And so that's okay. Like, one of two things can happen. You can, you can follow their lead and let them set the pace and set the tone for what is given and what isn't given. And in that way, that problem is alleviated, unless they're unable to truly meet your needs. And in which case, like, I mean, it's up to you if you want to settle for that, but like, that's really what it is settling if your needs cannot be met. And then you have the Two of Wands in reverse with the Five of Cups in reverse with the World in reverse. And this person, basically they're hoping that they didn't already make a decision that has put this relationship in a place where it can't be come back from, where we can't close out the cycle and start a new one. But with the Two of Cups, this person really views you as their soulmate. They really view you as the best relationship in their life. Honestly, is how it's coming across to me. And with the Knight of Swords, this is an energy that graduates from the Page of Swords to the Knight of Swords, where we're ready to rush in and speak our truth. We do not want to, we can't just obsess over it anymore. We can't just daydream about it and think about it anymore and feel satisfied or feel happy. Because what comes with that is this worry, this fear, this regret that the choice we made in the past that wasn't, it wasn't promoting this relationship, or it wasn't like supporting this relationship or something like that, has already done so much damage that we can't come back from it. And so, but there's a deep understanding and a deep knowledge that this relationship is in fact like irreplaceable with the Two of Cups. With the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, this person is really understanding and knowing that they are going to have to come in with something serious, something real, if they want a new beginning in love. Like, it has to be backed up with something. It can't just be for the sake of love. Because I think there's been either hurt here. With the World card in reverse, it's telling me that there's a history here. Okay, let's look at this Five of Swords. Something stopped this person in the first place from going after what they really wanted. With the Knight of Wands in reverse. Oh, wow. Yeah, they weren't ready. I feel like, okay. I feel like they were not ready with the Knight of Wands in reverse. This is someone who, honestly, with the Knight of Wands in reverse, they may not know what they want. They may just be one of those people that's sort of all over there and maybe trying a lot of different things, hoping to find what they want in one of those things. Or like, somebody who's like, well, I know what I want, but it doesn't want me. Or I couldn't possibly be good enough for it. Or do you see what I'm saying? It's that kind of energy. With the Page of Pentacles upright with the Two of Swords and the Emperor here, this is someone who needed to learn a spiritual lesson. And with it being the Pentacle here, it may have been a lesson around self-worth. And with the Page, it may have been something that they missed out on, or they may have been taught that their worth revolved around money or the material world or how things looked. And that may have prevented them from acting on this or from taking charge in the situation here. Or they may have thought that they had too little to give to the situation with that Six of Pentacles in reverse and the Page of Pentacles showing up. But either way, it's kept them from you know, trying to get another chance here. It's kept them from heeding the call of this relationship with Judgment in reverse. With the Temperance on the bottom of the deck, I think this person is trying to heal, or over the course of a long time, this person is really trying to rebalance and regroup. And it feels like, you know, there's always a healing element in Temperance, but this healing feels like someone who generally feels like stuff doesn't work out for them, or like, yeah, there's good, but then it's directly followed by bad, or like, if there is good, I can't really trust that, I'm sort of waiting for the other shoe to fall kind of energy. And there's a healing around this where it's like, I'm learning how to keep my energy flowing back and forth. Like, I'm not throwing the water out like in the Star card or in the Five of Cups. I'm not emptying my vessel. I'm focused on this balance and on, you know, utilizing this and harnessing the strength of it. This Justice card, please, Spirit. Okay. Boy, there's some doozies flying out here. All right. Wow, getting that Knight of Swords energy again. I feel like if this person comes in, it's going to be in sort of a rash moment where they don't really have a chance to think about it so much. And I feel like they are coming in. You have some interesting energy happening here, Pisces. There is something with the Eight of Swords, a card here being sideways. This is something that's changing. I think this person got kind of stuck on like the broken record thought loop where it was like, I can't possibly go for Pisces. Like, they're too good for me, or I'm not good enough, or, you know, how will it look to other people? Or, you know, and really all of those things that that person is telling themselves is another form of escape. It literally is another form of them protecting themselves. And, you know, when you protect yourself from the suffering and from the things that you're trying to avoid, but you also create a blockage to the things that you want to let in and that you want to pursue. And so this is something that this person is either bringing their mindful awareness to and actively trying to break this thought pattern. And you know, your mind is like a puppy, you got to train it. So I feel like this person is doing this. You've got these 2 8s in a row, which is, this is something that keeps coming back around. And it feels like this person is like, they feel like they need to reach out to you. They feel like the decision at hand is, do I reach out to Pisces? And in order to reach out, this person is going to have to let go of, remember how I told you so, a while, like in the beginning of this reading, something about, you know, if it created a conflict within this person that they really wanted to be with you, but yet they were walking away from it because they were wounded, because they were protecting themselves. Well, with the Seven of Swords in reverse, it's kind of like this energy of, you know, in that moment, right, we have the chance to tell ourselves the truth, or we have the chance to tell ourselves a lie. And the lie is easier to take because, you know, it doesn't threaten our ego. It doesn't threaten our pride. In fact, it probably, depending on the lie, bolsters it, right? So if we tell ourselves, well, it wouldn't have worked out because of X, Y, and Z, even if that's not what we really think, if we tell ourselves that so that we can cope or so that we can survive, that's a form of escape, because the value, the gift lies in the truth. And with the Seven of Swords, it's like this person may have tried that. They may have tried to tell themselves a lie so that they could accept it, so that they could stay the same. Because changing is hard, and especially for some people, it's very, very hard. But it requires growth, and it requires us to look at things that we have not been willing to look at. And so with the Seven of Swords in reverse, it's like, I feel like this person tried to lie to themselves. They tried to deceive themselves. They either tried to tell themselves that it didn't matter, or that, you know, it was your fault, or it never would have worked, or whatever. You know what I mean? There's a whole host of lies we can fill in the blanks with. And all of them, you know, are sort of common. You have the Six of Wands with the Five of Pentacles, which is an interesting energy, right? Because it's like kind of like almost this energy of success and victory out of a really horrible place. Because nobody likes to feel lonely. No one likes to feel disconnected and disengaged and left out and locked out. But it's like, who made us feel that way? Was it Pisces, who was just trying to show up as your soulmate? Or is it you? Because you have a scarcity mindset at the base of it all, because of something that probably happened to you in your childhood. And so when we ride out of this energy successful, when we ride out of this energy like, wow, I'm finally seeing that, I'm finally getting it, it's finally making sense to me, that like I can't have a scarcity mindset and then have really awesome, abundant things happen to me. Because those vibrations do not match. They do not match. But again, this is that energy that I was talking about yesterday with the Knicks player, where, you know, it's like, well, actually, no, a better energy is something that I heard a while ago, where this guy grew up like really poor, and he went on to like become a very, very successful man and make a lot of money. And he remembered as a child, he felt so much shame. He didn't want people to know where he lived. He didn't want people to know how poor he was. It was impossible to hide, but he didn't want people to know. And so anyway, he became really wealthy. He overcame that quality or that experience. And now it is a sense of pride. Now he looks at pictures of himself poor. Now he looks at and remembers those experiences, and he's like, damn, I overcame that poverty, you know, experience, which is not just the experience of being poor, but is the job that it does to your brain. You know what I mean? And it's not just poor. It can be neglect, emotional neglect, and having to overcome that. It can be, it's just poverty where, you know, you felt locked out, you felt absent from something, you felt the loss of something, you felt, you know, impoverished in some way, you know? Kids that grow up with narcissistic parents oftentimes feel this way, especially when they're blamed for a lot of stuff. And it can wreak havoc on their brain, you know, on their way of thinking, on their way of seeing themselves. But when you see the Six of Wands that overtaking this energy, it's like, I have alchemized this. I have turned that experience. I don't have to stay there. And, you know, we're that's why it's such a beautiful thing that the universe, the one thing we know is that things are going to change. That's why that's so beautiful, because nothing is really a life sentence. We are always capable of change, and the world will always change, and circumstance will always change. And so with this Knight of Swords, it's kind of like once this person starts to feel good about themselves, once they start to feel ready, you know, once they find this readiness within them to let go of this way of thinking that's been really tragically keeping them trapped, it's like nothing can stop them. That's why I feel like it's going to come in sort of out of the blue, and it's just going to be sort of a rash decision in a moment, sort of an impulsive decision of like, okay, that's it. I'm reaching out to Pisces. All right. Well, Pisces, that is what I have. I'm going to get you some messages. All right, here we go for Pisces. Yeah, there's definitely a big decision point right here. That is really the focus. Justice and the Two of Wands. A decision is made, and it is a strong decision. And it does feel balanced. You have temperance, you have judgment. All right, if you're dealing with a water sign, I'm not financially stable. I look for you everywhere. Decision, it's time to decide about this relationship. We don't share the same values. I would do it all again. Your intellect arouses me. If you're dealing with a fire sign, you're getting, I don't react when people mention you. Do I still have a chance? True love. This love is emotional, physical, and unconditional. Here and now, your true love is already a part of your life. Boundaries, firm boundaries are needed now. And protected. You are safe and divinely guided. Both the boundaries and the protected energy came up in the oracle portion of this reading. So if you're dealing with an earth sign, you are the best thing in my life. I want to start over. I feel you leaving me behind. I feel I hide behind material things. I wonder if you are happy without me. I miss seeing you. I miss hearing your voice, and I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. If you're dealing with an air sign, Pisces, I miss being with you. Just being near you is intoxicating. I love you unconditionally. Soulmate, your soulmate loves, accepts, and respects you. You didn't see my tears. I know I messed up everything. Trust, it is safe to trust in this situation, and unplug. You working less will help strengthen your relationship. So Pisces, this is what I have for you. I really hope that it helps. I hope this brought you some peace and clarity. You know, if it did, let me know. Like, share. And this one I never read, and I don't know who it came out for, but I don't want to let you go. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I really appreciate everything. Thank you guys so much. So many of you have joined the membership channel. I'm super, super grateful. I am sorry again about the technical issue, but I've done everything that I can, and I'm not a technically savvy person, so I'm doing the best that I can. And if you see me uploading videos that you can't watch, which I don't know if that's happening, I'm very confused as to what's happening or why. Like, you guys, I got so many emails and comments about, like, I've been watching you every day and now you're not uploading free videos anymore. It's all your membership. You're only exclusively a membership channel now. Like, no, I've never said that. That's not the truth. That won't be the truth. I don't foresee that happening. Like, let's just stay calm and not jump to conclusions, because, you know, it's stressful when you're going through something like that where you just changed your channel around a little bit, and now technically YouTube is not working for you. That's a stressful situation, especially when I'm over here recording readings and trying to upload them and not being able to. And then I'm receiving all these communications that I feel I have to respond to. It just compounds a problem. And it was like 24 hours without a video. Like, it wasn't even that long. So anyway, I don't know. I really appreciate the enthusiasm. Again, over 50% of people that watch my videos every day have not even subscribed, which is very disappointing, because there's a core group of Pisces doing all the work for everybody else. And that does create an energetic imbalance, and I do feel it, and it does get me a little, frustrated. And so anyway, there you go. Do with that what you want, but please subscribe if you're watching my videos all the time. It's an imbalance, and imbalances don't last. And so don't put that on me because you don't want to do it. Anyway, this is what I have for you. I hope it helps. Until next time, I'm sending you off with all my very best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.